Diona is available in Genshin Impact right now. She's going to be a more easily accessible ice type support character, something that we really haven't had an ease of access to before because the only other one was Chi-Chi. So is she worth it? She's going to be doing some nice supportive aspects for you. We're going to be going into everything that she can and cannot do and what you guys should be expecting of Diona if you're pulling for her in Genshin Impact. She is a bow type character, and with that being said, she's got some supportive aspects between shielding, healing, attack breaks to reduce the damage that you just take from oncoming damage, as well as the effect of an AoE cryo effect, which really lends credence to a lot of powerful teams, permanent freeze teams, or permanent ease of access to superconduct. So let's get into it right now. Obviously, she has a normal and charged attack. Doesn't really matter. Nothing special here. Let's skip right out over it. Now, let's talk about her elemental skill, though, Icy Pause. A lot of players are going to be using this skill wrong a lot of the time. So let's talk about this. Icy Pause, she's going to do some cryo damage, but the main thing about Icy Pause is that it's going to apply a damage shield based on her max HP. But on top of that, there's a hold version that will give you a stronger shield, all right, and do a little bit more damage. Now, let's talk about this. Why will a lot of players be using this skill wrong? This is because if you hold the effect, you get a 75% increased damage absorption shield to the shield that you're getting. But the cooldown is a little over 2 times more than normal. If you just use the skill normally, it's a 6-second cooldown, so you could quickly apply a barrier, shield yourself for some damage, make sure that you're doing okay, or you can hold it and apply a big barrier. So what you want to be doing with this skill when you're using her, Diona, is if you want to be constantly swapping in and out, gaining elemental skill charges for her elemental burst, you want to press, leave, off Diona, use your damage dealer, use another support, come back to Diona, reapply the barrier, leave again, do some more damage, come back again with Diona, reapply it, right? Because it's got that 6-second cooldown. All that time you're charging her elemental burst. Now, if you are using only the hold version, you're going to be hampering that ability because you're going to be on a 15-second cooldown. So when do you want to use the hold version? You want to use the hold version when you're in a fight and you know you don't want to come back to Diona for a little while. Don't just spam the hold version, because even though you do get a larger shield up front, 75% increase, you're more than doubling the cooldown where you'd get more shield over time if you were to just use it 2 times, right? 75% from one shield, or just use the shield 2 times to reapply that effect in 12 seconds instead of 75% bonus in 15 seconds. That's something that you guys are going to have to think about there. Also, you will do a little bit more damage that way, just spamming the skill, because it fires 2 per time versus the 5 with that extra cooldown. So keep that in mind there as well. If you want the full shield over time, have it consistent, keep using that press, but if you're leaving the battlefield for a significant period of time, use the hold version. Now, her elemental skill here is Signature Mix, and it's very, very strong. So what she's going to do, she's going to play an AoE cryo field. You guys will see this when we play around with her. And it's going to do 2 things. It's going to do constant AoE cryo damage, but it's also going to AoE heal. So if you've seen, like Jean ult or Bennett ult, where they put a field down, you want to be standing in that field, you'll be doing cryo damage to your opponents, and you'll be healing yourself as well. And this heals for a pretty significant amount of HP. Even at level 1, it's 5.34% of Diona's max HP, which is huge. So if you do apply, HP percent to her, it's not only going to make her shields better, it's going to make her HP heals better there as well, and a little bit of flat HP. The duration's 12 seconds, and the cooldown is 20 seconds, so a little bit above 50% uptime. You can't have it up there all the time, right? If you look at, like we just talked about Bennett's ultimate, who is a very powerful and underrated character, you can have Bennett's up almost full time. His is a 12-second duration, a 15-second cooldown. Hers is a 20-second cooldown. Obviously, put them both in the same party. Just a little bit of a trick there. But you could have their fields kind of overlap and have a full AoE regeneration field, or her and Jean, something like that. So keep that in mind there. Now, her first ascension here, if you have her barrier up from her Icy Pause, you can have a little bit of an increased movement speed, 10%, help you maybe dodge some AoEs, get around a little bit with a quick hitting character like Child/Tartaglia. And you're also going to increase or decrease your stamina consumption by 10% there. Now we also have Drunkard's Farce here. Now this is going to be something that's unique and new as a skill that can just straight up do this. In Genshin Impact, if an enemy is inside the field of Signature Mix, they have 10% reduced attack. So you're going to be not only doing damage and healing, they're going to be doing less damage to you. You can bind this with the barriers that she can put up, and that's going to be a very fun thing for you there. Now, she's a very powerful support. We have her and Kaya and Lisa here, so we have Super Conduct, and that's about it against these Pyro Slimes. So, as you can see, we can just apply this barrier pretty easily. Press that skill. We have the ability to come in, come out, dash in out of battle. But if you hold it, you get a larger shield here. But the cooldown, like we said, is a longer amount of time. So keep that in mind as well when you're using this character. They didn't really give you a good team to kind of make her useful, but you can kind of see what she's all about here. You can see that we just not got that cooldown back, but if you sit and swap in and out, 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 is kind of what you want to do, because you can swap in and out. You come in here, do this, and apply some effects here. Good to go. Now we have the Super Conduct, so we're good here. And, you know, Kaya coming in, doing some damage. And then Diona, just apply some more HPs. No problem. Super Conduct, do some more damage. Come in, do some more damage. Freeze them up. We'll just apply the barrier here. That'll be powerful. Now, I'm not going to come back into her for a while, so I'm just going to do this and swap out.
Freeze! Don't get frostbite.
And we're just gonna keep going in. Now I don't want to swap back into Diona right now because I know I have nothing to do with her, right? If I swap in a little too soon. That's why you have to keep that in mind there. But that's pretty much what she's gonna do. She's not gonna be your front runner, crazy DPS character or anything like that. She's a support type character that comes in with heals and shields. You're gonna want to build her HP, percent energy recharge. That's really what you're gonna be doing with her. And this is because, like we said, you need to get her ult down to heal. She doesn't heal in any other way. She's a shielding character that heals later. Very similar to someone like Noelle in that regard, except Noelle would heal while her shield was on, whereas Diona only heals during her ultimate. So you have to keep that in mind. Now, if you want to build that ult up, like we just have right now, you want to make sure that you leave her in after she uses her E so she can gain her charge off of her own skill like we were talking about earlier. So keep that in mind as well when you're using her in combat. If you don't do that, you're never going to be getting, if you swap her out too fast, you're never going to be getting the elemental charge from her skill. That being said, if you build her up with some elemental recharge, you're going to be pretty much good to go. So we already kind of have this ready to go pretty soon. Let's pop this in here, pop this over here, pop this here. A little bit of dead input lag. Amazing, amazing dead input lag. QQ. I'm just going to drop it down, and we can just kind of stand in here. You also are going to need to stand and change your characters over if you want to make sure that they get the heal in there. So apply the barrier and then swap over so they can get that healing while you're in here. They're not taking any damage. Pretty much good to go there. Nice. Thanks, Kaya. Amazing. The best showcase of all time. But that's pretty much her, guys. Nothing super crazy. Nothing game-breaking, like I said, but she's going to be, you know, part of your backbone in your team as your healer support enabler for, you know, for Melt, for Super Conduct, for Freeze. She's going to allow you guys to really do that quite easily and quite well. But nothing super crazy. Nothing super crazy. Just make sure that you're not always using the press because you can get yourself into some bad circumstances. Like I press, so I can't put up another barrier for quite a long while. Even though I already have it right now, we're doing kind of okay that way. But can't really put that barrier up right this second. Right now, and we can just now put it back up. So that's going to be Diona. So as you guys saw, she's not going to be the all-star of your team. You're not going to be building a team around Diona. You're going to be building a team with Diona in mind. She's going to be one of those characters like, I'm building a Super Conduct team. I need a healer. Slot her in there. You're saying, I need a healer for my Melt team. Slot her in there. I need a healer for a Freeze team with Child. Slide her in there. That's going to be something amazing for you there. Not an all-star, but she's going to be working secretly from, you know, behind the bar, basically, doing all your good stuff. Now, her Constellations here are going to help you out quite a bit, especially C1, because you want to gain access to the Elemental Burst because it's her only way to heal, and this is going to give her 15 energy when her Elemental Burst ends. So this is going to cut that energy that you need to recharge your ultimate from 80 to 65, basically, because the first one's going to need the full 80 because you need to build it up first. But once you ult one time, this is going to regenerate some of that energy for you and make it easier to get your ults back up over time. You saw a lot of the times there, we were just shy a little bit. So a little bit energy recharge, a little bit HP, and a Constellation 1 is going to make that easier for you to do there. This Constellation 2 is going to make the damage as well as the shielding that you do with your elemental skill 15% better, okay? And also, when you hit somebody with Icy Paws, it creates a shield, and it's going to make her better in co-op to everyone else that's around, because shields are applied to your character and they persist when you swap out. But if you're playing co-op and if harder co-op content comes out in the future, this is going to be a way for a shield character to apply shields to the whole party, which is very, very powerful. Level 4 here allows you to aim shot faster, so she's going to be able to, this is a small one, right? If you're inside of your ultimate, you're going to be able to aim shot faster, 60% reduced time for your aim shot there. This allows you to apply easier cryo. But that being said, I don't really like this one because all you have to do is, well, they're in your field anyway, so you can kind of get that crowd from the aim shot. Just swap her out into a real damage dealer is what I would do there. And then we have Constellation 6. While you're in Signature Mix, you get increased healing and 200 elemental mastery if your HP is above 50%. So if you do have her in a melt team, you've seen Sucrose do stuff very much like this, where Sucrose can increase elemental mastery to your whole party. This is going to increase the elemental mastery of just anyone. This counts in co-op as well by 200. So melt damage goes up. This is going to be awesome because it's going to constantly be applying that cryo field effect in damage, and then they're going to have 200 elemental mastery, and that's going to increase your melt damage by a whole ton there. So not the all-star like we said, but still a fantastic character for you guys to get your hands on if you're looking for a cryo type support character, maybe for the Abyss, or it just fits your team really well. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for spending that time here. Let me know your thoughts about Diona down in the comment section below. Did you get her? Did you not want her? Do you want her now? What is going on there? I'm kind of on the side there because I do kind of want her, you know, maybe for the future if I ever get Kaching, it'd be cool for a superconduct physical team in those weird situations. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.